Hey there, bud. Welcome to a guide on how to build a simple rover in Space Engineers. I'm going to show you how to go from nothing to this beaut of a rover here that we call Ludwig's Rover Mark 7. Before we begin, if you don't mind, if I can get a like and a subscribe, that will be fantastic. Let's begin. So to start, I would begin on function. What do you want your rover to do? Obviously, move. So what you're going to do, you're going to build a little frame, you're going to build a seat, you're going to build power, and you're going to build the wheels. So this is what we got here. The problem with this design, obviously you could probably see it right now, is that it's clipping into the floor. It does not work. These tires are just way too small. I thought trying to build a light rover to use the smallest tires, but I to this day do not know what these tires are for. I'm guessing for some track, but it's garbaggio. So we are going to go and put bigger tires on it, and you get this fine specimen, which is exact dimensions as the other one, same shape. There's only 4 blocks, like 4 light armor blocks on here for the axles, the seat, and actually 6. I lied. There's 6 blocks here. 4 blocks as the axle. This one holds the reactors. But the big problem with this is it's a very, very short wheelbase, as you can see. This just doesn't look right. So when you ride it, it does sick wheelies. I'm talking end over end, doing a whole bunch of flippy whippies, okay? That's not good if you need it to function. So how did I fix the sick wheelie problem? I added 2 more wheels. This is Ludwig's Rover Light Duty Mark 1. This, as I mentioned before, 2 wheels in the back adds stability. This has 6-wheel steering, 2-wheel propulsion, but the ability for 6-wheel propulsion. Now, I would recommend that you have the rear wheels or any 2 wheels be your power wheels unless you need it. Have a button that turns on the propulsion for the other wheels, because it gets very uncontrollable at very low speeds when you're trying to turn to have that speed. But if you lower the power of it, you will not get the speed you want in the flats where you can actually put that speed into the ground. So here we get the final shape of the other rovers. It's just slope blocks and regular blocks as a base, and then some triangle pieces with the slope in the front with the headlights, with just the spotlights. And then we have in the back here, there are 2 reactors going up into the conveyors, which goes into the storage containers. Then we have 3 gyroscopes. Now, do add gyroscopes to any rover you're making, because they will flip a lot. I also have an oar, because I imagine when you use this thing, you will be driving around looking for, step out, drill, and then get back in and go. That's what I imagine this for. One problem with this design is that there's no way to access the materials in the back. That is a problem I did not know when I first built this. That is finally addressed later on. And this also has a headrest to protect against flipping over and damaging the seat or other components. This is the absolutely bare bones, but this is also Mark 1. Now we move over to Mark 2. This fixes the issue of breaking any of the materials from flipping over, because everything has a big old roll cage over it. Big downside is that you're completely ugly and exposed. And the other downside is that light armor doesn't do anything. But some changes made here. Everything is covered. We took out a gyroscope, so now it's down to 2. Put the antennae on its side and built a little thing above it to protect it. Added some guns on here. Added a complete capsule of the front and the top of the driver. Still the sides are open to get in. And added cameras in the front so you can see. This here was a base stormer. I made this to go storm base yonder over there. I will tell you this right now, it did not work. It got shot out right away. So I moved on to Mark 3, which is this bad boy. This one right here, not a lot of changes from the Mark 1. I basically took the Mark 1 again and added a little protective thing over the back, so the gyroscopes and the antennae is not open like this guy, but it's actually closed like this guy. And didn't fix the extors thing yet, did not know about that, and changed the front. Instead of going from this kind of look, I changed to this kind of look, more aggressive look. I did not like it, but the guy that I was playing with at the time said that looked pretty dope skis. From the Mark 3 to the Mark 4, a radical change and they look. I went from the slope blocks to the round blocks all the way around the top. I also changed the front armor to the light armor, from the light armor to the heavy armor. I also changed the covering for the back. Instead of having it open for the cargo containers, I moved the reactors flat and put the cargo containers right after that, allowing me to cover the top, leaving it completely covered against any type of damage, any type of rollover, and have access holes here to access the containers. And you can see at the side, there's the gyroscopes and the ore detector. And of course, the antennae is in the back, along with the other gyroscopes. So when I made this, I thought to myself, what if we took the middle wheels out, made this a 4x4 vehicle, a four-wheeler? I literally just deleted it and I got this. And I realized, never ever use 6 wheels. Go and only use 4 wheels. 4 wheels is the way to go. It is just handles a lot better. It's just game changing. After removing the middle wheels, I made the Mark 5. This is probably one of my most favorites. I had the biggest change and drove the best from the previous ones. So with this radical change in tires setup, I changed the bottom. So instead of having a blocky bottom like that one, it has the slopes, giving a nice sleek look. There's guns and you're still able to access the storage containers through this block right here. Everything the same kind of internally. Driving wise, from these vehicles all have the wheels propelled in the back, steering all around. This vehicle actually has the back wheels locked. Now, my personal opinion is to leave the back wheels locked unless you're doing some very tight maneuvers, low speed, and then have them unlocked to be able to move. And just have it in your taskbar at the bottom there. Have it be able to be turned on and off along with 4 wheels. I personally don't like running all wheels propulsing. I think it's just way too powerful and not controlling enough. It's just a little bit too wild. But if you're trying to get faster, like a higher speed, definitely add those wheels on, or if you get stuck, but definitely have them be able to turn on and off. So this is the Mark 5. Now we go on to the Mark 6, which is basically the Mark 5. Instead of guns, it can fly. There's the only difference. If you're going to make your thing fly, add more reactors. That's something that's lax. You can only use one or the other. And if you're going to make something fly, make sure you can turn off the wheels to give you more power if you're running it close. If you got lots of reactors and playing on creative, it really doesn't matter. But if you are playing on survival, definitely want to use the least amount of power as possible. To be able to turn off in the bottom there, I have to be able to turn off the thrusters and turn off the tires. So just have one or the other off. Now we move on to the creme of the creme. This is the Mark 7. This Mark 7 took another radical change. This is obviously wider to his predecessor by 2 blocks. So instead of being 4 wide, this is 6 wide. Now this gives you a lot of flexibility on what you can do with it. You can make this thing a lot taller, you can move the seat up, you can do whatever you want. What I did is that I just added more room in the front, give it kind of a hood or bonnet to it, allow it to take damage without destroying the lights, which was a problem with all the other designs, with the headlights being so close. You crash into a tree or whatever and you lost your lights, and potentially you could destroy the seat too, immobilizing you. This adds a lot more protection. All this armor here is heavy armor, so it just allows it to take that a lot more damage before you're kind of stuck. Heavy armor goes all the way around this craft. This is definitely, with the wider and more weight, you can put more power to the tires, as well as kind of go for this. It's a lot more heavier duty, a lot more, less maneuverability, but more just more taking damage and better design. This has a window all around, open in the top so you can get in. Here, a different system. It actually has about 6 cargo containers underneath here, and the cargo containers actually go to the side, accessing the whole entire thing. This has the antennae in the back, ore detector, and multiple, I think 4 gyroscopes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the whole entire lineup of the Ludwig Rovers. I hope you guys were able to see the kind of progression that I went through making these, and I hope you guys have learned and be able to apply what I've done here and kind of learn from my mistakes, so you can start off with a lot better footing than I did, starting from brand new, starting from scratch. And hopefully you guys are able to make some really big, really badass Rovers here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, show your support. Leave it down in the comments below what video games you want me to do, what things you want me to build, anything. The sky is the limit. I read all the comments, so if you have any suggestions, or you have any comments, or you just want to tell me you're having a lovely day, it's all fair game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a phenomenal day. Peace.